We got the Orange Bowl, folks. 8 Eastern, Friday, December 30th. So right before you get going for these playoff games, you got Tennessee and Clemson set to get after it. Clemson is favored by 4.5 points. And it is a very interesting situation do we find both these programs in. Both playing a backup quarterback. We'll start with Clemson. They have a whole new outlook, I believe, on the way their season went. A lot of Clemson fans believe if they had played Cade Klubnik the entirety of the year, they would be playing for a college football playoff spot right now. They'd be playing for a chance at the national title right now. Whether you believe that or not doesn't really matter. They have new excitement. They have new juice around that program. How much does that translate into this game? How much does that new outlook on your program, on your offense rather even, translate into this game? I think it's an interesting point, something we'll keep an eye on. Tennessee also playing their backup quarterback in Joe Milton. Hendon Hooker, tragically, gets injured, done for the season. We wish him well, wish him a speedy recovery. Tennessee's going to roll with Joe Milton, but they still feel like they have a chance to put an exclamation mark on what has been a really special season. Think about what we said about Tennessee coming into this season. Won 7 games a year ago. That's great for Josh Heupel and company. They score a lot of points. They're a fun offense to watch, but are they really going to be a team nationally we have to talk about? They'll be great for highlights. Hendon Hooker's going to light up the stat sheet, but are they a program to be reckoned with? Are they a program? Can they go from program to program? Well, one thing led to another, and they won 10 games this season. And so Tennessee understands that, they don't have everybody playing in this game. Jalen Hyatt's not playing. Cedric Tillman's not playing. Hendon Hooker's not playing because of injury, like we already said. They still feel like they have a lot to play for. So I'm excited to see what they do in this game. The first hinge point for us, can Tennessee, as a team, tee it up well for Joe Milton? You say tee it up, what does that mean? It means making his job easier. Can you run the football effectively like you have all year long? You've been right around 5 yards a carry all year. You'll have your work cut out for you against Clemson's front seven. A lot of dudes that are going to be playing on Sundays here in the near future. But that would make his job easier. That would cause the safeties to roll down a little bit more and have more guys running wide open downfield. It's a lot easier to throw with no safety than when you got to fit it in between a window. Also, can you win one-on-one on the outside? No Jalen Hyatt, no Cedric Tillman. 2 big-time weapons, 2 explosive weapons that you're not going to have in this game. So Ramel Keaton, Brew McCoy, 2 guys that I think need to step up in a very big way in this game. So much of what Tennessee does offensively is being able to win those one-on-one matchups and running to green grass. Brew McCoy has a different skill set than Jalen Hyatt, but still, with the way that Clemson's secondary has played this year, a little bit inconsistent, they've struggled a little bit more with those big body wide receivers. Brew McCoy is somewhere in the neighborhood of 6'3", 215. That's a big boy for those you keeping track at home. I'm curious to see what he does in this game, because I think a lot of the matchups on the outside will dictate how much success, explosively that is, that Tennessee's able to have offensively. So if you're not able to help him, guess what? You put a whole lot of pressure on Joe Milton's shoulders. Now, far be it from me to say Joe Milton can't do something. Quite honestly, we don't have a ton of data on him as a starting quarterback at Tennessee, but you would like to help him out, I think goes without saying. Because Clemson's defense, as inconsistent as they've been, they've got a whole lot of talent, a whole lot of personnel on that side of the ball that can make your afternoon very, very difficult. All right? If you haven't yet subscribed, love to have you at the party. It's bowl season. No better time than the present to subscribe to this channel. We've had well over, I want to say, combined between both Tennessee and Clemson, somewhere in the neighborhood of 10,000 subscribers from both of y'all. So we appreciate you in advance for joining the party. If you haven't yet, like I said, never too late. Also, follow me on Twitter and on Instagram to make sure you're locked in with everything we got going here on the Hard Count and on the On3 YouTube channel. 12-month a year sport, all right? 12-month out of the year sport. We cover it accordingly. Is Cade Klubnik able to be who Clemson believes he is? Because he put on a clinic against North Carolina. I mean, all of the excitement around him coming into this year, he pretty much made good on that in that game. Now, the thing you heard from the naysayers was, well, it was North Carolina, right? It was the Tar Heel defense, and no knock on the good people in Chapel Hill, but they just don't play really good defense down there. It's just kind of the fact of the matter. Okay, so now against the Tennessee defense, secondary is not amazing, but that front seven is nasty. Okay, that's going to be a real SEC defense for you. Is it the best of the best? No, but it's going to give you a really good litmus test to see how far along you are if you're Cade Klubnik. Can he activate the pressure points within Tennessee's defense to allow Clemson's offense to be successful? Kind of the name of the game, right? When I say pressure points, I just mean, can he be successful through the air early to allow Will Shipley to eat? Because if he's able to have that success and they can start to lean on the run game more, that's going to be a really, really good life to live if you're Will Shipley. That's going to be a really fun afternoon if you're wearing Clemson's orange. Because the secondary for Tennessee, it's no secret, they haven't been the best part of the unit. They haven't been the best part of the team. Actually, they're allowing 284 yards a game, which is probably an inflated number just a little bit, but that's still 127th in the country, folks. There's only 131 teams. Can Cade Klubnik cash in on that? Can he take advantage of that? Because I promise you, they're going to do everything in their power on Tennessee's side of things to make his picture confusing. They're going to rock and roll those safeties. They're going to show cover 3 when they really got cover 4. They're going to show a bunch of different looks to him and try and make the young freshman confused. If they can be successful and they cause a recalibration period for Clemson, well, then it's going to be a long afternoon for Clemson. But again, early success causes you to have to commit more resources to the back end to have to help that secondary out to where Will Shipley will get to eat and will get to eat greedy. So who finds the rhythm first between these backup quarterbacks? Whoever finds rhythm first will allow their team, in my opinion, to take the lead first. When you take the lead first, you're able to control the tempo, which is a huge deal when it comes to just the game of football as a whole. I don't think I'm saying anything novel here. When you're in the front of a race, the leader gets to control how fast you want to go. Because if I'm right behind that leader, if I'm trying to catch whoever's in first place, well, guess what? I have to make a move to pass them, or I have to wait till the end of the race to be able to make a move to win it, okay? And that's what I think this comes down to. Whoever can get in rhythm first will have the luxury of running the football more, be able to lean on the defense more. Like, you hear what I'm saying here? When you fall behind in this scenario, whichever quarterback it is, you ask them to do more. You ask Joe Milton to throw the football more. You ask Cade Klubnik to throw the football more. You put more pressure on them because you can't just run the football when you're down 10 points. You got to start scoring. You got to start moving the football a little more effectively. And how do you move the football quickly? 9 times out of 10 is throwing the rock. Okay, so who's able to get in a rhythm more, or rhythm first rather, will be very much so predicated on the way they call this offense. But keep an eye on that, because I think that's going to tell the story of how this gameplay works out. So here's my prediction for this game. I think Cade Klubnik is wildly talented. Like, I think he's going to be a guy we talk about competing for the Heisman Trophy here in the very near future. He's going to have a tremendous career at Clemson. Now, with that being said, I think this Tennessee team is looking to finish this year with a chip on their shoulder. They've heard all the things that are said about them after the South Carolina loss and how they choked and how, it's great, but Hendon Hooker's not there anymore. Great story, great year, Tennessee, but, you're going to kind of regress back to the mean in this game, and the big boys are going to take over. I'm just telling you, I trust Josh Heupel, and I think the run game for Tennessee is going to actually have a really strong showing with how they spread them out in this game. Schematically, I just like what they're going to be able to do on the ground. So for that reason, I'm taking Tennessee in an absolute dogfight. Final score, Vols win this one 41-38 in the Orange Bowl. I think that's an instant classic. Hey, y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also, be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.